Alright, hello everybody. Okay, so I know it's been maybe a week or two, something like that. I'm not exactly sure how long it's been, but we are going to watch Yadneb play the hero and item of the week. I believe the hero is Warlock. I forget what the item is. What was the item? I don't even remember. Man, we just did this show pretty recently, and I already forget. It's terrible. Warlock. Rod of Atos. Jeez. Okay. All right. So, here we go. We've got Ben. We have a pretty terrible name on Crystal Maiden here. So I bet that'll go just great. We have an Abaddon, or Abaddon, as some people like to say. But yeah, on Ben's team we have a Warlock. As I mentioned earlier, we do have a Crystal Maiden and a Mirana, an Abaddon, and a Phantom Assassin who has a pretty cool set, the Dragon Terror set. I do like that. I don't think this Mirana has anything of note besides a bow, and that's fine. But yeah, Jared has been talking up this Warlock mid strategy as of late, so we decided to go ahead and give it a whirl, see how that goes. And I gotta hand it to that Crystal Maiden. She leveled up Arcane Aura first, so that's nice. Help Ben to kind of spam out those spells a little bit more. And Jared has said that Warlock mid has been all the hotness as of late. And I think that's more so just to help him snowball a little bit more. That's why you run a mid, and to get maybe a little bit of farm up. But yeah, his Q is the Fatal Bonds, and that kind of chains a couple of enemies, whether they be creeps or heroes, together, and they kind of split some damage. And I believe the W is Shadow Word. So that heals a friendly unit or damages an enemy unit over time. His E is that Channeled Upheaval, basically a slow. And the longer you stand in it, the more you're slowed. So that's kind of nice. But the real power of Warlock is the Chaotic Offering that summons the Golems. Apparently the Golems cleave, which is really nice. So once you summon those Golems, we'll click on the Golems and take a look at some of their effects. But yeah, I think this will be maybe one of the better videos for Ben that he's done and that we've recorded as of late, because it's more of a core role. It's not a support role, and it's nothing against Ben or anything like that. And he would tell you that he doesn't necessarily excel at the support role. And it looks like Ricky already got a kill on the Mirana over here, so. But that's besides the point. We're going to try and keep an eye on Ben here. And it looks like he is getting a good amount of harassment off on the Ricky here. Well, he does get lifted towards the Rubik, and he might get a kill on the Rubik here. They might actually wind up killing each other, and oh, poor Ben. Oh, he does get the creeps do get the kill on the Rubik there, and he does get credit for it, I think. And he does, so. Whew. Ben, yeah, that was really close. So, hey, at least he got the kill. And I do feel like he should be buying a TP scroll to kind of TP back here and get some last hits. That 135 gold will pay for itself after about 3 last hits. So, maybe a bit of a misplay there, but no big deal. And it does look like Ricky was killed in the off lane. And Ben is back in the mid lane, able to do a little bit more CSing here. No idea where Rubik is. Rubik also elected to walk back. I think one of the key things for Ben here is when he casts his Chaotic Offering, he'll need to make sure to cast something right after it so that Rubik doesn't steal the Chaotic Offering. That would not be fun. We have a DD rune in the top rune position. Rubik does have a bottle. Ben elected not to get one. He does have boots, though, which is nice. Rubik doesn't have the boots, so he'll have a pretty sizable mid lane advantage there. He does have that Fade Bolt debuff. Sorry, I just can't help but look at some of these lanes. Crystal Maiden and Abaddon, that's going to be a hard lane for the Abaddon with that Viper there. I gotta think that the Shadow Shaman Viper lane's pretty good. The Viper, I think you could even just run Shadow Shaman as a roaming support to do stuff like that and to help the Viper. Oh, nice! Help the Viper get some solo XP for the Viper. You know, that way the Shadow Shaman isn't really just sapping up his XP. Because Viper can get those kills solo, I think. You know, he's got that nice slow and everything, so... Ben using that Shadow Word on himself to heal himself back up. I think he might want to be using that... Well, the Fatal Bonds would probably push the lane a little bit. Yeah, I'm not sure. But he does seem to have a decent mana pool right now, so he could be using that on the Rubik, which he does. And Rubik does steal the Shadow Word. So, what's the cooldown on the spell steal? Oh, it's not long. And Ben does have the Golem ready to go at a moment's notice. Rubik does bottle up that double damage rune and puts up a ward. Oh boy, looks like he's gonna try and take a pass at Ben here. Oh boy, be careful, Ben. And he does have the lift, and he lifts him backwards. Ben does pop the Shadow Word to just ensure that he gets back up to full health. A bit of a waste of the tangos there, maybe, or a bit of a waste of Shadow Word there. And Rubik used the Shadow Word that he stole on himself to heal himself up as well. And where are these 7 kills coming from here? Gosh, I guess they're just doing work up here. I was playing some low-level games with some local friends here, and yeah, a lot of those low-level games kind of turn into a game of which team feeds the least, which is rather annoying, but that's the way it is. Hopefully they're able to get this kill on the Ricky. Oh, just missed.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Oh, he's right here. Nope, he's gonna get away. What's going on up here? Crystal Maiden's probably gonna go down. This Rubik rotated up and kind of left Ben to free farm, which is nice. He definitely want to take advantage of that. Totally missed with that Frost Nova. Crystal Nova. Why do I keep calling it Frost Nova? Who does Frost Nova? Is that a Lich thing? So Ben picking up those arcane boots, and per the rules of the Hero and Item of the Week challenge, he's allowed to buy whatever he wants to start with. And then beyond that, he's only allowed to upgrade his boots. So, I think it would be nice to see Ben maybe go up to the top lane here instead of farm up so much. He does have his ultimate, so he could really, especially right now, you know, when nobody else is really at level 6, I think it's just him and Ricky. Never mind, Shadow Shaman and Bounty Hunter are. So yeah, their team's maybe a little bit behind. But it would be nice to see Ben rotate to use that Golem, because it's going to be real powerful right now at this stage of the game. Ben kind of tends to play a very passive carry role, which I do as well. And he's not as bad at it as I am. I tend to just stay in lane and farm up as much as I can, and this Shadow Shaman needs to be ganked real bad. He's so far ahead. Let's see, what did Rubik steal? Crystal Nova. And this is not a fun time to have Viper rotate into your lane like this. Ben's just going to get harassed like crazy, especially with a Viper Strike available. If Viper gets Warlock down to about half health, Viper could just turn it around real quick. Ben does use that Shadow Word, though, to help him get back up to a decent amount of health. And we do have his lane putting, or the PA lane putting down the Sentry Ward to help get some vision. And this PA blinking in here, Mirana gonna use the Starfall and helps get that Riki kill. But I don't know, this PA might give up the ghost. Oh, blinks away at the last moment. Is Bounty Hunter gonna chase this out? No, he doesn't. That's a good move. Don't want to be chasing too long. Typically, it seems like if you're chasing for more than 5 seconds, in the scenario that I spoke of earlier, it looks like it just happened. Viper definitely went on Ben. But what was I talking about? Oh yeah, if you're chasing more than like 4 or 5 seconds, I generally tend to turn around. So the Flaming Fist grants a chance to deal extra damage to nearby units when attacking. 60% chance to do 100 extra damage. That's not too bad. He does 75 damage. And burns the golems permanent immolation burns the golems nearby enemy units with damage per second. So that's basically like a radiance plus, I guess, kind of a maelstrom, I guess, is what the equivalent would be. So that's pretty good. And it looks like the golem's gonna run up on its timer. It is nice that Ben can micro this while he was waiting to respawn, so. Does have another 100 seconds for the next golem. I'm not sure what the general strategy or thought process is with Warlock. Do you want to be using that as much as possible, or do you wait until it's strategic, or somewhere in between? I don't know. Ben gets shackled here, but really no follow-up. He does get the Viper Strike on him. Rubik is going to go ahead and steal the Frostbite, and it looks like Ben might go down here, but they do dive in. Crystal Maiden gets off a nice ultimate. Ben gets lifted back into the tower, and it looks like the Mass Serpent Wards will try and take down Crystal Maiden a little bit, and I'm not sure why Crystal Maiden was chasing this out. She's definitely going to die. Ben safely went back to safety, which is a definitely a good move there. They were basically 2v3, and quite frankly, I'm surprised that the Viper wasn't able to take down Ben. Though he isn't... The Viper really only has a ring of health and some boots, so not really a ideal build for Viper, for sure. I think I'd rather see him go for a Yasha first, or maybe start building into that mech or something, or... Yeah, I'm not really sure. So we do have 3 dire heroes grouping up here. That Fade Bolt doing a decent amount of damage. And the Shadow Word will come out, and Ben goes right to the front here, and... Oh boy, we do have Riki in the area as he drops that smoke screen. I think that's what it is. The Abaddon ultimate will get triggered as Riki does decide to stab Ben and then proceed to run away. Is it called smoke screen? Yeah. I feel like the real power of Riki is the smoke screen. That's such a good silence and slow. And you also have at max level, 70% miss rate with that. It's really good. I do like that. So let's see here. The only thing Rubik has right now is Frostbite. Ben does have the value point in Fatal Bonds, as he does begin to work on his Rod of Atos, which isn't necessarily a horrible item for Warlock, especially if he's going for more of a core role with that. Let's see here, where is that? Right here. 2 Staves of Wizardry and a Vitality Booster. And as Jared pointed out on the podcast, there's no recipes involved in this at all. So you do get additional stats. You know, you get plus 20 intelligence from the 2 staves. But you get an additional 5 intellect when you build the actual item. So very efficient item. And PA does get a kill on the Viper, so that's going to be a really nice kill for them. And this team is starting to roll, which is nice. They're getting a decent amount of kills. We do have the Golem come out They are going to chase out this Riki, but they don't have any vision, so that kind of stinks. But the Shadow Word is continuing to tick down on Riki here, and it almost kills him, but not quite. And oh boy, look out folks, we've got a Riki with a Dagon. I'm not a big fan of that build at all, but it definitely makes for some interesting fights, I'll say that. I do like the Blink Dagger pickup on Shadow Shaman. He had that quite early, as we saw him initiate on Ben with the Blink Shackles. Oh, and this tower's so close to deny range. That's frustrating. So Ben just needs another Staff of Wizardry, and he can get his Rod of Atos and then start building whatever he wants. So the Crystal Maiden ult does go down. Rubik does manage to steal that, so that is a really nice pickup for him, and they're going to have to be careful of that. And there it goes. Does take down the PA. Looks like we are going to see a Warlock kill here. So it looks like we're going to see a triple kill as well. Yeah, having that good shackle from Shadow Shaman and that good freezing field has definitely turned that match around there. Turned that fight around for sure.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
That's kind of difficult because if you're not on voice chat, it's really difficult in the middle of a fight to say, hey, I just had freezing field stolen. And now he has leap.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
How long do you have... How long do you have that for? It says several minutes. I don't know how long that is. Oh, 240. So why'd he take leap? I would have held on to freezing field, because what's the cooldown on that? 150? Okay, so he's got about a 60-second window? 50-second window? For him to land another freezing field, so I don't think that's necessarily a good idea.
Is under attack.
Alright, anyway, back to the main character here. Ben's up in the top lane, continuing to farm up while the rest of the Radiant are just kind of hanging around doing nothing. They are trying to push this tower a little bit, but, you know, it's nothing too interesting, so... I think Crystal Maiden and Abaddon will be able to hold off here, unless, never mind, Riki decides to go on in, drops a smoke screen in a really strange place, but does get the Dagon kill on the Riki, and it looks like we're going to see a dead Abaddon here as well, as the ultimate does proc, and at this point I think you'd want to be running away. Arrow going to be way off the mark. The Starfall will go down, and that's a dead Rubik. But we do see Abaddon go down as well, so Riki and Viper are going to continue to chase this out, and Riki will surely get a kill, and he does. And that is now 9 kills for Riki. Or Riki. Riki, as Merlini likes to say. And as we know, whatever Merlini says, that's the way to go. So Ben's not behind by any means. He's got a decent amount of farm. He's got 43 last hits. It's not necessarily ideal at this stage in the game. Yeah, but given that they're kind of behind, you don't want to see that. I think I just heard my doorbell go, but I'm not gonna answer it because I'm in the middle of a cast here. So
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
whoever's at the door is just gonna have to wait. That's right. Okay, let's see what's going on here. So I think this might be Ben's first time playing Warlock, and if it is, he's doing okay. He's got 3 kills, 43 last hits. That's kind of the cool thing with Warlock, is you don't necessarily need
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
a ton of farm. I think as Jared was saying in the show, in the podcast, is that if you're looking to farm up Warlock, you really want to be focusing on the Ags Refresher build, I guess,
Radiant's top tower
and then
is
switch over farm priorities back to someone else. And here we go. We have the Golem going out, and the Starfall will take down the Bounty Hunter. couldn't remember if that was Ricky or the bounty hunter. So Abaddon did use the. Was it Abaddon who had the dust?
Dire's middle tower is under
PA maybe? I don't know. Somebody had dust. Dust definitely allowed him to get that kill on the bounty hunter. So I was just about to say, with a Ricky and a bounty hunter on your team, all you gotta do is pop that dust, and if they haven't been super fed or anything like that, you'll be just fine.
Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Here we go. This golem's starting to tear down this tower a little bit. So I think they'll definitely be able to get a tower kill out of this. And Ricky is here, so Ben wisely backs up. That's his spidey sense is going off here. Ricky does blink in, and Ben needs to get the crap out of here. He saw Ricky blink in. I'm not sure why he's sticking around here. And of course, with Ricky, when you turn your back to him, he gets bonus damage, and he does get Dagon'd right to the face. So that's going to be death number 6 for Ben, I believe. Is that right? Death number 4. So he's not doing too bad. He does have his Rod of Atos finished. Or excuse me, 5th death. Second lowest on the team, which is nice. He's not feeding like Crystal Maiden is. Crystal Maiden's given up quite a few unnecessary deaths. And that ultimate will proc, but everyone knows, hey, when Abaddon glows green, get the crap out of here. Stop hitting him. So Ricky just waits until that goes off, and then there you go. So I think Abaddon probably should have backed up. Probably would have been the best course of action there. Ben does have a couple Warlock items here. I did see that mythical golem that he had. I'm not sure what that's from, but I do like it. I like it more than the regular one. So it looks like Ben's going to start going for... He has the headdress. He's either going for a mech or the Pipe of Insight. I can't imagine he's going for a pipe. Not enough magical damage out there right now. Maybe Vipers, you know, to stop the Viper. Is it, I think the poison attack, yeah, the poison attack and the Viper Strike are both magical, so it'd be good against that. But I got to think that that the mechanism would be a far better pickup. So we do see the golem go down, and Arrow just missing the Rubik. So the golem goes down, and not really going to be too effective with it, not really able to do too much. I think a lot of that is because they don't really have much disable on the side of the Dire. The most that they have is the Mirana Arrow and the Crystal Maiden Frostbite, and I don't think I've seen Mirana hit any arrows yet. I wasn't sure how she did in the bottom lane, but yeah, definitely hasn't been super effective. PA does get the kill on Rubik, which is good. But yeah, with this golem, looks like Ben's getting ready to attack this tower here, so that's a bit of a wise move. I was just about to say that it seems like Ben wasn't really able to do too much with the golem, but that is incorrect on my part. He was able to take down that golem, or take down that tower, and push on to the next tower. So, Comeback City here, folks. I really hope this Ricky jumps in, and he does. Oh my goodness. He's not even able to take Ben down. He jumped in 1v4, and this Ricky's got a pair of cojones, for sure. So we'll see if he's able to do anything else. It seems like it's just his life goal to harass Ben. He does have... He is up to Dagon 4, so you gotta hand it to him. He is getting that Dagon up. And if they just had dust right now, they would be fine. Ben, you're allowed to buy dust. That's a thing you can do if you want.
6 in a row.
I did play last night a couple matches where I was playing basically about as hard of support as you can, where you're the only support on the team. So critical items like a mechanism or a Pipe of Insight, you really have to rely on the other team or your other teammates to get them, and those are items that typically people skip, which kind of stinks. So it was a little bit harder. It's nice to have another support with you who will split buying wards and courier with you. That way you don't have to skip entirely essential items, especially on this, especially in this match when you have to buy a lot of dust and that sort of thing. You're just not going to have a good time. As a Crystal Maiden, you know, you wouldn't even have an urn. You would just have wards and probably brown boots. In my games, I like to type back what people say to me if I don't understand what it is. I'm not sure if that's mean or not, but that's just what I do. I think that's probably considered mean. And this fight should not be happening right now. Okay, well, I guess PA's able to clean up, so I guess you got that, but she's almost dead. I was about to say it was like 5v3 or something like that, but Ben was able to get over here in time and help clean up, and he definitely got a kill there, so good for Ben. And these golems are just cleaning up these serpent wards, so good for him. And I gotta think that they're probably considering going for this next tower here, while we see Abaddon duking it out with the Rubik, and this Rubik was doing really good in the early game and has now just kind of fallen off quite a bit. He hasn't really been able to get some super good spells. Oh, that's rough. And is Ricky gonna go in here? I don't think so. And that's a dead bounty hunter. Definitely comeback city here as long as they stick with it. I think Ricky's up to Dagon 4 still. Yeah, he doesn't have 5 yet. Yeah, still not a big fan of the Dagon. Once you get it up to level 5, I think it's the most expensive item in the game. And the burst damage is nice. It does have that 800 damage. But on a Ricky, those stats are just not... they're not good at all. And somebody like PA, you know, that's about half her health, and, you know, she is kind of frail. But, you know, it's just not super effective at this stage in the game. So, she's going to be able to teleport out of here just fine. So back to Ben. He is working on his Aghanim Scepter, so that'll be a nice pickup for him. Sitting at about 73 CS. Which I think is probably perfectly acceptable given that there's basically 2 other cores on the team. And Ben does get shackled and the smoke screen does go down, and I think Crystal Maiden's going to give up the ghost for him here. Mirana does hit with that arrow. That was a nice arrow, but not going to be able to save too much with it. And Ricky does steal the arrow. I am a big fan of the Sacred Arrow. And Mirana is really still just kind of fodder at this point in the game. She's not super strong quite yet. And point in case right there. And this Abaddon, he does get these nice ultimate procs. And you'll see here it'll proc in... oh, the arrow! How did that not hit? Yeah, so the Abaddon ultimate goes off here. And usually when it goes off, he just decides to hang out more, but he finally turned around, so good for him. And I was going to see what some of these Mirana items build into. I think he was going for the Sanj and Yasha. Is that right? No. Let's see. Broadsword. Maybe going for the... must be going for the Chrysalis. Bit of an off-kilter build for Mirana. I'm not too down on it though. She does need those damage items. So she's doing an okay amount of damage, but she is level 14. Pretty under-leveled compared to everyone else. No, never mind. I saw level 21 Phantom Assassin and just assumed that everyone else was like 17, 18 or whatever. Nope, Phantom Assassin's just way fed and way ahead. So good for her. Never mind. Mirana's doing just fine, I guess. I suspect that they'll win this game solely because of Phantom Assassin. And these poor guys, they keep hitting Abaddon with his ultimate off, and there we go. Does get blown up by that Dagon. And I gotta think that Ricky would be doing a little bit better.
Tower is under attack.
Better, in quotes, if he had something other than the Dagon. Because really, the only kills he got a ton of kills in the early game, but right now he's just kind of just waiting for people to get really low and then just blowing them up with that thing. And not really contributing a ton of damage. Because look, he's only doing, you know, 112 plus 9 damage. So that's not a ton. Not sure if anybody has any smoke. Nope. Excuse me, dust. Oh, Mirana does in her inventory, so... Which she would need it right now. Mirana almost dies thanks to the Dagon, and... Yeah, I mean, Ricky shouldn't even be engaging here, but... He would maybe potentially get a kill if he had some better items. He does have 3,000 gold to spend, so I don't know what's going on. But then again, with Ricky turning his, you know, everyone turning their backs to Ricky, that backstab just does a ton of damage. So Ben is up to, is that a level 2 golem? Yeah. So I think it just lasts longer. Nope, never mind. It does more damage, has more HP, does more armor, has more armor, excuse me. He is, let's see, he just needs the, is it the Band of Elven Skin? To get the Blade of Alacrity to finish up that Ag Scepter, so he just needs another 1,000 gold, and oh, he's already got it. Okay, never mind. So Ben's gonna have the good old Ag Scepter. So you get 2 golems. You get 2 golems with the Ag Scepter. Let's see what. Yeah, here we go. Doing a little split push action. Oh, that's nice. And with Ag Scepter, I guess there's an HP and damage debuff, it would seem. I'm not sure how that works, but we'll see when the golem comes. Or when the Ag Scepter comes, excuse me. I would assume that when he hits people, they get like a max HP debuff, or maybe it's like a area of effect or something like that. Okay, folks. Let's go. A bit of a fun fact here. My mother-in-law was here this weekend, and she left something in my fridge called trail bologna. And I saw it in the fridge and I had a piece, and it was kind of weird. It was nice and smoky, I'll give it that. But the texture of bologna in general is really strange. And I understand that hot dogs is really just warmed up bologna in a different form factor. But for whatever reason, bologna kind of freaks me out, even though I like hot dogs. But yeah, I regret eating trail bologna, and I immediately ate a delicious apple to counteract it.
Somebody's cooking.
Because that's how that works, right?
Shouldn't have trusted your eyes.
There was a huge team fight that just happened, and Ben just said, YOLO, don't care. Need to farm. And Ben, look buddy, if you're watching this, you shouldn't be farming up here right now. You need to be down here with your team. You've got Ag Scepter. Unless he's trying to split push, which I encourage that. I think he'd be a little bit more effective with his team, though. Though with the level 22 Phantom Assassin, I don't think it really matters anymore.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Okay, Ricky's definitely going all-out troll mode here with the Ghost Scepter. He's going for the Ghost Scepter so we can just dig on to his till his heart's content. The Rubik Arrow is going to hit a creep And they decide to not break high ground. And it looks like Ben is going for, excuse me, a bit of a split push here. So we'll see what he's able to get done. Does pop the 2 golems, and yeah, these towers will go down pretty quick. Okay, let's see here if if there's any sort of debuff here. No, just the standard things there. Oh, does it? Oh, do they do less damage? Maybe is that right? The golems, since you have 2 of them, maybe they just do less damage to kind of balance that out. Maybe. Yeah, that must be. They do a little bit less damage, so they're not doing. At level 3, 1 golem would do 125. So yeah, they must have the HP and damage reduced. I guess it would be too OP to have 2 of them out like that. I'm not sure if I like that. I feel like since you have Ag Scepter, they should go ahead and just give you those real nice golems at full damage. I don't know. Maybe that would be too much. Mirana's real close to a Manta style. She still needs the recipe for it. I'm not sure how much that is though. 900, so she's real close to that. Bounty Hunter chasing out this Crystal Maiden. Hard game for Crystal Maiden this match. I think she is the Death Leader. Yeah, there's a bit of a tie going on for the Death Lead. Definitely barely made it out alive there. She almost had a Bounty Hunter death there. And Ben decides to opt for the Perseverance, which I believe is that built into the Refresher Orb. So we're getting close to that. Oh, pressing the wrong keys there. So let's see what Ben's able to get done here.
5 in a row. 2 down.
Yeah, he's doing okay. I'm still not sure whether I buy this fancy build that Jared's been talking about. Warlock does kind of tank up, though. He's sitting at 11 armor, has a decent amount of HP. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Still not entirely convinced of... Well, I'm convinced of the core Warlock versus a support Warlock. I'll give you that. But a number 1 hard-carrying Warlock? I don't know. I just don't think... There's just not the carry potential. And what is this Ricky doing? He is gonna die. But they don't have any detection. I see what's going on here. I see what's going on. He's just kind of ducking, dipping, and diving. Oh boy, someone's gonna get a dig onto the face here, I think. Is it gonna be Ben? That's what I want to know. It probably will be. This Ricky has just been picking on Ben the whole time. And oh boy, here we go, folks. Ricky's still invisible. Here we go. He's gonna get Dagon. There it is. They would have just had dust. They would have been fine. Ben, you can buy dust. You can buy it. It's fine.
6 in a row. 3 down.
But I will say it is nice. Ben's still contributing some kills here. Rubik was able to steal one of the golems though. He doesn't have Ag Scepter, so he doesn't get the Ags version, which is nice. But Ben, it was never stated in the rules anywhere that once you get your core item of the week up, you're allowed to buy dust. Go ahead and click that button. It's right. It's okay. It's right. It's right. Oh, that's not it. Dust is located on the Basics tab, Ben, right here. It's the 1, 2, 3. It's the 6th one down. Costs $180. It's not too expensive. So, I know you cores don't like to buy things that don't do damage, but you can make it happen, right? And Crystal Maiden should really be buying this stuff. Look at this. Why does she have a Helm of Iron Will? What's going on here? She doesn't need this stuff. Buy Dust. Buy Yule Scepter. I don't know. Buy things that aren't terrible for her. That's okay. That's okay. Let's see, where's Ben at? Let's get up here. There we go. So Ben's having... he's doing alright, I guess. Not fantastic, but he's doing okay. And you know, sometimes you don't need to do fantastic. You just need to do good enough, you know? You just need to not feed. That's kind of the name of the game, right?
Double damage.
40 minutes in, and we're sitting at 87 kills. So, it's been an active game, to say the least. And, oh boy, here we go. This Ricky just picking on Ben. Should have bought that nice BKB or something like that, or
Radiant's top tower.
some dust, or sheep stick or something, you know? Lock down this Ricky, man. Just needs one more blink and he'll take him down.
3 down.
I think this Ricky's just gonna wait for the Mirana ult to wear off. Yeah, he's chasing back around.
Radiant's top tower is
Oh no, get out of there, Ben! Oh no, this is not...
fortified.
Is he gonna... Nope, he's making that. Yep, he sees me. There we go. Poor Ben. Oh, and he got E-bladed too. Oh my gosh. He's got the shotgun. Okay, so that E-blade's doing a decent amount of damage there. So 2 times your primary attribute, which is 92 times 2, is roughly 200 plus 75, 275. So he's going for the crazy burst damage build here. Okay, I gotta hand it to Crystal Maiden. I do like the Veil of Discord. That's nice for a good freezing field if you're able to get that off. Poor Ben, though. He's just been harassed by Ricky the whole game. That's the only way Ricky can get kills these days, is by picking on Ben. And we do have that Shackles Hex. Bit of a inefficient use of the stuns there, but whatever.
2 down.
So PA will, I think she'll survive just fine. She's gonna get out of here. Yeah, no problem. Okay, back to Ben. Ben's still 17. Let's try and get that level up a little bit, Ben. Let's, yeah. Let's hang out with the team a little bit more.
That's 4 in a row.
Ricky getting a kill on the Phantom Assassin. Wow, what happened? Real close to that refresher orb, though. I do have to say, Jared, if you're watching this, or you do watch this at some point in the future, I think given the performance that Warlock has had in this match, I think I would rather have the Shadow Shaman or a Death Prophet, or, you know, if you're looking to push, I think there's better choices. As evidenced right here. I just don't think Warlock brings enough to the table, if I'm being totally honest. Though I am open to having my mind changed. And I do just need to see... I probably just need to see some decent Warlock VODs that are out there. And this Ricky, he is just going to town with all this burst damage. He is going for the Super Troll burst damage build. And he should pick up the Diffusal Blade. That'd be a real good item. Especially if you can get that up to level 2. Get out of here, Roshan Timer. There we go. 30 intellect, or 30 agility. That's another 60 damage added onto that E-Blade. Typically you do see that on Morphling, but not a bad pickup for Ricky, I don't think. I think I would have rather him got the E-Blade first than the Dagon. That's just a better item for Ricky earlier on. Just much better stats. 40 agility? You kidding me? That's good. So pretty quiet. One lane of racks down. And 2 tier 3 towers, so I think they're sitting in a pretty good spot. And Ben did take down this tower, and I believe he did take down this one right there. So he's doing good as far as putting his team in a good spot. But I think the effectiveness in that time frame for Warlock to be powerful, and you know, his time to shine has closed. That window is closed and that ship is long sailed. Is that arrow gonna hit? Yeah, it hits the Rubik. Okay. Not gonna have much follow-up damage. There we go. Taking down the Marana. Ben gets Hex turned into a chicken. Not too bad though. They do pop the dust. I don't think it really caught anyone though. Guess he was just worried about Ricky being around. The thing about all these invisible heroes like Ricky is that as long as you stay together as a team, he's not really going to be able to do too much, because he really excels and relies on people being out of position and being alone and, you know, taking advantage of that. At least in my experience, that's how it's gone. But I'm also not a Ricky player, so there you go. Oh, he does almost one-shot Marana. Holy cow. Okay, folks, here we go. Ben taking down the double golem here. And the golems are doing quite a bit of work. There we go. They were running up against backdoor protection there, but now that there's some creeps around, not too bad. Okay, so the racks are taking a decent amount of damage from the golems themselves. So fairly impressive damage on the golems. At least as far as structures go. So he is able to really zone people out with it pretty well, pretty effectively as well. If you notice when he turns the golems on somebody, you know, they just have to run or they just get messed up, like this Rubik here. But sadly, that's the end of the golems. They will time out, and that's going to be a dead Ben. Thanks to the Ricky. This Ricky is up to 30 kills, but I don't think it's going to be able to really do too much to help him out of this position. This PA's been going pretty crazy as well. So he does build up the Eagle Song, which is a decent pickup. I do like that. But if he's going for that E-Blade build, I do think the Diffusal Blade would be a little bit better. It does provide the same amount of agility, I guess. But if you're just looking to stack primary attributes, it's way cheaper. So, whatever. Whatever you want to do. Let's take a look at the graphs. Dyer ahead in XP, also ahead in gold. We have PA soloing Roshan, critting for 1700. Good lord. So with the butterfly and with the blur, PA is probably pretty hard to kill. And Ben does pick up the refresher. Okay. Good work, Ben. I hope we get to see the coveted 4 golem push. I would really like to see that. But the thing is with that is you can only get that once every 2.5 minutes. So you definitely are quite reliant upon that refresher orb being up and ready to go. And I hope Ben doesn't die here. He was standing in that smoke cloud. And here we go. Yep. He was able to get the golems off, so he is able to help contribute to the team fight there. There we go. I think I would even beg Phantom Assassin to pick up a gem, because she's not gonna die. Mierda como se amo tanto. I don't know what that means. But I bet it was something directed in towards Ben. Some sort of insult, probably you're a bad... Whoa! Okay, shots fired there, jeez. Don't be jerks, people. Good lord.
Double damage.
Not sure what any of this means. But I'm sure Ricky was being derogatory towards Ben. But it doesn't matter, because he went for a really bad build early game. And,
Middle tower is under attack.
yeah, the Dire's definitely gonna win here. And we don't get to see the 4 golems come out, unfortunately.
Radiant's middle
Maybe Ben will do it just at the last moment here, just
ancient is under attack.
just for funsies. And this thing's taking a ton of creep damage. Not looking likely to see the golems. Come on, Ben. We want to see 4 of them. Wait, here to use the refresher orb? What happened?
Is under attack.
No, what happened? He must have fat-fingered it or something. Ben, give the people what they want. So I know the item of the week was the Rod of Atos, but I really didn't see it used for that slow at all. And that Dagon's not doing too much damage to Ben these days. Gotta look out for that E-Blade, though. So we do have the double golems taking down Ricky, so I do like to see that. Rubik was able to steal the golems, but there they go. That's interesting that Rubik doesn't get to steal the skinned ones that Ben has.
Radiant's ancient is under
I'm sure that's by choice.
3 down.
Radiant's
And I think this is gonna be game.
Radiant's ancient is under
Oh, come on. Come on, freaking Rubik. Report. No, you don't need to report that. Just don't be a... These guys. Oh. They gotta be, what, 12? There we go. Okay. There we go. So good job, Ben. Yeah, I think that was his first time playing Warlock, I believe, so for his first time, that wasn't too bad. I think... Yeah, I'm still not convinced of the core... I'm convinced of the number 3 position Warlock, and maybe that's about it. But he had stats that were perfectly acceptable. So by no means did he play poorly. He was definitely picked on by Ricky quite a bit, if I do say so. But yeah, let's take a look at... Okay, that explains a lot. That explains why Ricky's gold per minute is only 456 when he has 30 kills. 55 last hits. What the heck, man? Okay, so yeah. Good job, Ben. Yeah, Warlock is the decent number 3 position, I guess. He's kind of in an awkward spot where he's not a good support by any means, but I don't think he's a fantastic core. But yeah, Jared, if you're watching this, send me some Warlock VODs. That'll change my mind. And yeah, take care, everybody, and we'll see you next time.